What is going on, guys? This is the Poke Tea Time podcast, where we serve you up a cup of the hottest takes on what's going on in the Pokemon community. I'm NotShivam. We got good old Yizzy Pokemon right over here down below me. And our special guest this evening, we got good old PokeRev. Woo!
What's up, everybody?
Fire emojis in the
I
chat,
was supposed
guys.
to do my intro, Shiv. You didn't cue me in.
Yeah. Oh. Guys, Yizzy is going to do his intro for PokeRev, starting now.
Shiv always does this. We have the vintage box breaker, the celebrity that hates being called a celebrity because he is humble, the top growing Pokemon content creator, entertainer, the man with the complete... Where's he going? The man with the complete booster box collection, ultimate eBay seller with the listings that will never be sold, and everybody knows which one that is. The one and only PokeRev. Everybody clappy emojis. I worked really hard on that.
What's up, everybody? That was quite the introduction. I appreciate it. But yeah, I actually officially completed the booster box collection like a week or two ago. So
Yeah.
I'm happy about that.
What would you say is, like, just out of curiosity, outside of like the first edition Shadowless booster box, what would you say was like the most difficult booster box to acquire for your collection? Is it that last one that you just got, or was it just something else?
Probably. You know what's funny? The EX boxes were so much easier to get, but it was because I was collecting those, like 4 years ago. They were still tough to find, but it was just a different time. So those were actually a lot easier. But some of the tougher ones were definitely Diamond and Pearl. And then I think it probably was Secret Wonders. I've let it slip through my hands like multiple times. It's like right there, and you're like, let me think about it. Come back, it's gone. I did that like 2 or 3 times, and this last time I was like, I'm going in. I'm getting it. It's time.
Man, that's like me with certain things. It's like if I find a toy and it's like, I'll pass on it, and then it's gone, and then it's like you don't see that for another year or so, and it's like, dang, I missed out. So I know the feeling. Yeah, that's when the regrets come in. But we got a pretty solid podcast this evening, and typically speaking, myself and Yizzy, we always have banter on this podcast, so we just kind of want to talk about how your day has been, and talk a little bit about your break that you just had earlier, and what kind of stuff that you're working on at the moment.
Yeah. So just finished up an opening. It was about an hour and a half ago. I think we finished up a base set and an evolutions box. So we put both of those in the same stream, and that was a lot of fun. But yeah, I mean, in terms of what I'm working on right now, it's just trying to continue to build up this this community that we have here of just absolutely amazing people. It just never ceases to amaze me. Like every Tuesday, I jump in, we go live once a week, and I just the love and like everybody that's in there having a good time. It's so fun. It's so fun. So yeah, just kind of continuing to build that community, continuing to try to see what else I can kind of get into, get my hands on, and yeah, we're shooting for the stars this year, so we'll see if we can make it. But just honestly loving every day and being able to do this, it's just total blessing.
You're close to a million, right?
Yeah,
that's pretty
cool.
I
mean, you're getting there. The growth this year has just been absolutely crazy. So that's the big goal for this year. Yeah, we'll see if we can make it. I mean, if we don't, dude, it's cool. Like, it's just that's more because it's all about the journey, and I'm dead serious when I say that because I don't know what I'm gonna do when I get to a million. Like, where do you go from there? What's next? Like, I feel like all right, we made it. Like, that's it. Like, what's the next goal? What's the next thing that to do? I mean, I don't know the answer to that. So I'm just enjoying the journey, honestly.
True.
Yeah. Chad says the best beard in Pokemon ? I think so. I think Rev has the best beard in Pokemon. 100%.
Radar's is looking pretty good.
Radar's is solid too. Yeah.
Yeah,
his is solid too.
Yeah.
I'm probably like 16th, so I'm okay with that.
Bro.
Dude, your output
you
on YouTube is a lot.
What was that, Rev?
I was saying you could grow it out, definitely.
Yeah, I got a pretty sick beard going on too. Dude, it's the Asian genes, You just, we don't grow hair, but we also don't raisin too, so.
We can just
Asian don't raisin. That's the model we go by. We don't have to shave our arms, our legs. They're just smooth and buttery smooth.
Yeah, and then when you're in the gym getting those gains, don't even got everything just shows.
See, like,
Yeah.
I've been doing like jujitsu, like instead of working out. I used to work out, but then I'm like, you know what? I want to apply like some techniques just in case. And so I've been doing like jujitsu. And I told Shiv like the new like thing is like I mean, we're not celebrities, but like, influencers boxing and stuff. And I'm like, Shiv, we're part of Collecticon. Let's have like Shiv and Yizzy in the ring, 1-on-1, 5 minutes. I'm sure people will pay like $5 a ticket, maybe.
Yeah, I don't want to
Put it up.
participate.
Bring on, like we can get some good matchups. Leon Hart and Collectible Guru. I'm just kidding. He called him out like last year. I don't know.
Yeah.
Something like
Twitter
that.
or something, right? That's why I don't
Yeah.
go on Twitter.
Oh
Oof.
man.
Will
I
Smith and Chris Rock.
Oh, hold. Yeah.
Mm.
No, it's
why
pretty
not?
interesting to see like your massive growth in just like a short amount of time. Like we were just talking about your old setup, and I look back at your old setup. I look back at Nate's old setup and Leon Hart's old setup, and like I think people don't understand how much that kind of goes into like producing a setup and all the work that goes into it. What do you want for people to see, and just like having the coolest things on there, and in a way it kind of inspired me. So back in 2020, I remember you were roughly around 2,000 subscribers on YouTube. I'm like, man, this guy has everything. And then I just kept watching and watching and watching. I was like, this guy has everything. Like, you don't really know until you watch. And it's like, man, this guy probably has stuff that he hasn't even shown yet. So, big
Yeah.
fan, big fan.
I appreciate that, man. Yeah, that's like
Yeah.
I mean, I might have shown maybe 5-10% of my collection. It's just it's like a process. Like I want to show more, but it's such a process to like take it out, get it out of storage, take it out of the bins, find
Put
what I
it
want
back.
to do. Yeah, put it back. Like make sure I don't mess it up when I'm touching it. So I want to do those things. It's just yeah, it's hard to kind of figure out how to go about that kind of stuff. Like I haven't even showcased like my video game collection. Like I'm so proud of my video game collection.
Yeah,
but I just
N64,
haven't-
right?
Yeah, mainly N64. I was moving on to the GameCube, and like, that was right. I finished N64. I was happy with it. I'm like, all right, let's do GameCube now. I picked up like maybe 3, 4, 5 games, and then I was like, that's right when I started YouTube, and it just completely took my attention away from it, and it just blew past me. And you got Wada on the scene, everybody. I'm like,
Yeah,
I'm like, I'm
it just
good, I'm out.
exploded. Yeah.
like, yeah.
And
But
the
I'm happy
wait
with what I
times
have.
got ridiculous too, with grading for WADA. So, yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
The market just blew up and kind of blew right past me. But yeah, there's like so many things that I'd love to do and show on my channel that I just haven't yet. I don't know. I overthink stuff a lot. Like I'll be like, all right, so how can you make this a fun video? Like I don't want to just go through and be like, all right, here's this, this. Like, I don't know. I want to make it fun, But
I mean, I
Yeah.
think like way back when you were making those videos, like showing like Diamond and Pearl era toys, and then you were showing something cool, like a roll of film, from the movie. Like back when you showed that I thought that was really cool. I thought the way that you presented that was also really cool. Since then, I've been looking for a roll on eBay, like a film roll, ever since. I can't find it. So I have you to thank for that problem.
yeah, it's like once you see it exist, you're like, all right, I need to have this because I've seen some of the stuff you have, like the crazy rare toys and all that stuff, and I'm like, I need that. But the hunt for toys, man, that's tough. 'Cause that stuff's hard to find. Like that stuff's really, really hard to find. It's not like boxes. I mean, boxes of cards are tough to find too, but you can usually find them eventually. Some of those toys, it's like they just don't exist.
Yeah, yeah. But yeah, let's get right into it. Before we get right into it, Yizzy, do you have anything to add?
I mean, not. I have like some questions that like pertains to like YouTube content, but like
Yeah, go ahead, ask it right
I
now.
can tie that in, like, so like y'all are talking about like content and like how you want to your next year's like endeavors, and I see you like output a lot of content, and you're talking about always reinventing. Like, how are you able to like output so much and like also not burn out at the same time?
Yeah, that's a really good question because burnout is like the number one thing that you want to look out for when you're creating content, as a lot of people already know. But just continuing to evolve, it's tough because you always have to, you have to, you have to, you can't be comfortable. You cannot be
Mm.
comfortable. You know, every time I've done something different, I was never comfortable. Started live streaming completely, not even comfortable. When I started the channel in general, completely uncomfortable on camera.
Mm.
But you got to be uncomfortable with the next step and do something that you haven't done before. So, you know, in terms of like being able to put out that much content, uh, it was tough because what's funny was I used to stream almost every day, like every day. Like in the beginning, I was streaming, streaming,
Mm.
streaming, and finally, when I decided to move on from not streaming as much and actually getting into normal uploads and content like that,
Mm.
I my channel just completely tanked because I realized I didn't actually know how to create that kind of content. So when I
Right.
stopped streaming, my views, everything just kind of subscriber growth just
Mm.
plummeted relative to what I was doing when I was streaming, and I had to learn that. So I had to learn how to create the content that people enjoy and obviously keeps people on the platform, gets people to click on the video and all that stuff and while keeping them watching it. So it was a whole process that kind of took over the span of like 6 to 8 months for me to fully feel like, okay, I figured this out now. Now what's the next step? The next step is I'd like to have a new studio. Completely
Mm.
uncomfortable with building that, you know, like completely uncomfortable getting out of my cave. Like, you know, like I always like kid around, like I'm in my Poke cave. This is where I live 24/7. But like in reality, I was nervous to make that big change and move on to a different setup. So I did that, and then from there, how do I pump out more videos? I can't keep editing the videos myself. Got an editor who we just click. I mean, he's into Pokemon, he's in the hobby. He's a
Dude
great
is so
dude. He's a great
cool.
kid. Oh, you know him?
Yeah, we met in Dallas.
Oh, that's right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
yeah. Yeah, he's a great kid. He's
yeah.
he's
Young too. Like
yeah, he's
lots of
talented. He's
talent.
smart.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, he's way younger than me, bro.
Yeah,
I'm
20
an
years
old man.
old. 20 years old. That's
Yeah,
wild. And the stuff that he
he's
does, it's like
grinding.
insane. Yeah.
Yeah, he's collecting, he's grinding, he's doing his thing, and you know he's there editing the videos, and
Yeah.
then we got to the next point, you know, where it was like we were doing maybe 4 videos a week, and you know I said I want to do daily. I think I want to do this every single day. So you know, one of his best friends is a really talented editor as well, so we got him on board. So now I have
Ooh.
2 editors working the
Jeez.
videos, doing this, and it's like the next level. It's like, okay, so what can I do now? Like, shorts are really good. You know, shorts are fun because not everybody watches the entire live streams. You can't. It's just too long. They're too long. You know. So
Mm.
what if we do shorts, a couple shorts a week? You know, highlights of some of these cool moments that I've had. Whether it's getting that prototype Blastoise graded in a 10 or some ridiculous polls or you know crazy packs that we had. Do those shorts and sprinkle them in. Don't overdo it though. You don't want you know you don't want to overdo it and have everybody that's sub to you like you blow up their feed and you just spam their feed. So you do it, you sprinkle them in, and then all these
Hmm.
things you just kind of learn as you go. You know how to
Mm.
capture an audience, how to keep people engaged and enjoying the content while also trying to think of new ideas. You know, a lot of people that ask me, I want to, you know, they say I want to start a Pokemon channel. What can you know, what can I do? What can I do to kind of grow and stuff? And it's you need to kind of bring your own talents and expertise into this community.
Mm.
You know, the easy thing to do, and it's no, you know, it's nothing against anybody. But if you want to break out, you can't just go, okay, we're gonna open up Brilliant Stars booster box and open up Brilliant Stars. How
Mm.
can you do that differently? Well, maybe I can open up a Brilliant Stars booster box and maybe I can go out and each pack one of my friends can open up, or maybe I can battle, you know, my wife or my friend, or
Mm.
maybe I could do 2 boxes and battle both of them together and see which one has the better hits. And you know, it's stuff like that. You want to keep innovating and growing and changing and how you go about doing things to make it different. You know, you have guys like Pat Flynn, or not really guys like Pat Flynn. You have Pat Flynn,
Mm.
who literally comes in with his expertise, yeah, and all his things that he's learned over the years. And as soon as I saw him entering the hobby, I knew he was gonna have a crazy good channel.
Oh
And
man.
you
Yeah.
know,
I love how he
it was just
tells
a
a
matter.
story with every video.
Oh yeah, it's amazing, and it's
It's so
like
much fun.
Yeah, he brings it.
We
He brings everything that he knows and over the years from growing businesses and connecting and socializing with people and making all those things happen. Where he has like an amazing content. It's amazing content, and you want to keep thinking of the next thing. It's like,
Mm.
what can we do next? Can we open up a free Pokemon store? Can we grab this empty place and rent it out for the weekend? That's one of my big goals. Is I want to I just want to have like a store, an empty store. See if I can get in something where look, I take it for a week, I'll fill it up, and one day I just randomly send out a tweet, free Pokemon cards. Here's the address, and then just people show up and come in,
That would be
grab what they
wild.
want, open it up. Yeah, like that's the thing. Like you take those because you see it on those big channels that inspire. You see it on Mr. Beast. Obviously, is a great, like one of the greatest YouTubers of all time, innovators, and
Mm.
most generous people out there. And it's like you see those big ideas. You see the free store. You see all these crazy things, and when I think about it like this: how can I take the inspiration from some of those ideas and craft it into a Pokemon cards video at the same
Mm.
time? And you take these things and you say, well, can I do that? Yeah, you could probably do that. This one, maybe switch something up a little bit and change it so where it works out with your hobby and what you have going on your channel that people will enjoy. And you just grow. You just keep growing. And it's not a matter of thinking. It's really just a matter of thinking outside the box and using what and you've learned through your experience in life. I mean, that's the only way I can really say it is be creative, do something somebody else isn't doing, and do it the best you can do it. Do it the best you can do it. Every day I sit down and I'm going to film a video or I'm going to do something. I think, what is one thing that I can change or I can tweak or I can improve on? And you do that every day for a year, you have 365 things that you've just mastered or changed or made better. Whether I'm not even, it could be as simple as flicking on another light over here,
Mm.
or maybe changing out a lens over here, or trying a new setting over here. Maybe even taking a course on how to be better on camera, how to do a certain thing that you're trying to master. One thing a day, I'm telling you. Because if you look at my first video, and that's the right in the beginning of, I'm gonna just sit down. I'm gonna take what's in my pocket right now, my iPhone, and I'm just gonna click record. I'm gonna have it on the front face camera because
Mm.
I want to see myself. I don't know what I look like. I don't know what I'm doing. And that is the beginning of the beginning. Is just clicking the record button. Doesn't matter about anything else.
Uh-huh.
The shelves behind me were empty. It was just a storage thing.
Yeah.
No lighting, just nothing. Just no mic. And then literally every single day, okay, maybe I can do this. I can get a mic. Maybe I can turn this, put a light over here. Maybe I can do this. Maybe I can do that. Maybe I can get a backdrop on my thing. Just little
Oh, look
things.
there.
And then that's just how I think of it.
Yeah. Was that a
Was it
stream deck? Are you using a stream deck? Just
Yeah. So I found out. I was actually kind of hyped. I was like, yo, let me see if I can do this. But so it's a virtual camera. This is something else that I learned. I was
yeah,
like, and
yeah.
then you think about like, oh, dude, we could do this like, say I want to pack battle somebody on
Uh-huh.
a Discord or StreamYard or Zoom or whatever. You set
Yeah.
up a virtual camera, yeah, on
Uh,
OBS, and you use a
uh-huh.
Stream Deck, and you can literally. I literally have my full setup on YouTube. It's
Yeah.
crazy, like everything like I normally have. I'm like, oh,
Uh-huh.
dude, that was like another idea. I just figured out how to use this the other day, so I was like, oh, like maybe we can do I can do like pack
Oh.
battles with people now. Like,
So you use StreamYard?
so I don't use StreamYard, but if I were to do something like that, I think
Uh-huh.
StreamYard might be a good option. Um,
Ooh.
I don't know. StreamYard's cool because you can actually stream, I believe, in full 1080 if you get the paid version.
Uh-huh.
So keeping that quality could be pretty good if you're doing the pack openings. So
Okay. This became like a tech talk instead of Pokemon.
No, it's more about content creating and being in this position where you're constantly evolving. I think that's the biggest thing. Just like Pokemon, we gotta evolve too. Um, it's crazy because like I look back in like my personal journey with content creation. I was super awkward and nervous in front of a camera, and I think like TikTok kind of helped. And one thing that I learned about myself and content is that just like maintaining a level of consistency and saying like, hey, I'm just going to keep producing and producing and just soaking in as much information, you start to notice smaller things that you can actually change, for your own benefit, things to improve on. And, from there, I've seen like a lot of growth in myself as a content creator. I've gotten a little bit better in terms of talking to people on the fly, whether it's through a podcast or in person. And, I have content to thank for that. So yeah, it's a really cool process. And, for most of us that have been around in this community for quite some time, we've seen the tremendous amount of growth that you've had. So I kind of want to get into the more serious topics for this evening, and that is the future of Pokemon cards, modern and vintage.
Ooh.
So I kind of want to talk about, I think we kind of understand, or we kind of have an idea of how vintage is going to play out, but I want to talk about modern specifically. I know a lot of people these days have kind of entered this particular space, whether it is as collectors, whether it as content creators, whether it is as investors, that don't have that much purchasing power, but they want to get into the modern aspect because that's like the easiest point of entry for most people, besides like the collections that they had as children. So I kind of want to like get into it and talk about where do you think modern is going, and we can look at it from X amount of time. And this is just purely speculation. This is just all opinion based. I don't think myself and Yizzy are experts, and we just like talking just because we like talking about Pokemon.
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, just totally. I mean, my opinion on it, I just think modern is going in such a great direction. And honestly, it was really recently, just with Brilliant Stars, I just couldn't believe what they did with that set. And I think a lot of people can agree that they really just hit the home run with that. And if that's the formula that they're going to possibly use moving forward, I think it's a great opportunity for modern to just continue to thrive in this whole environment, because you look at it where if you can open up a booster box and you can get 14, 16 hits, something like ridiculous like that out of almost every box, and you're getting those beautiful artworks. You have a trainer gallery subset with 30 amazing artworks in it. And not only that, the subset has the rarity tiers built into it as well. I think it's a great move with Pokemon. And then, the one big thing, of course, is going to be the grind to actually try to complete a modern set. So that's kind of one of the bigger issues, right? Is that people want to complete the set,
But it's too big.
a lot of people do enjoy, opening up packs to complete the set, like back in the day with a base set booster box. I mean, shoot, you open up like, say like 3 booster boxes, you probably have the whole set. I mean, and nowadays, and even I can attest to it, because I started doing the streams now where it's like it's like, can I complete the set? Can I complete the binder set and do it in a live stream? And it's like, it's just too crazy to even fathom even doing that in reality. The way that, obviously, like, it's different if you're a content creator in my position, where it's like, okay, so I have the views coming in that'll help, to help just people watching it, will help it make it happen because of the views and all the ad revenue that comes in from that. But it's like, if I were just to sit there myself and have to open up 100 boxes or something, it's just like so crazy to even think about it. So yeah, that's the one thing that with modern that's really tough. That makes it a challenge if you do like completing sets. I mean, of course you can buy individual cards, but it's something where maybe they can tweak it down the road. But of course, at the end of the day, though, Pokemon wants you to buy more products. So it's like,
Right.
they look at it like, so is it something that they're actually going to want to change financially, because they know they're going to, all right, if this person wants to complete the set and they want to open packs up, here you go. You got to buy this many boxes of the set. So it's an interesting dynamic, but I do think they're moving in the right direction with those good ports, because you're getting the value. I mean, you can open up a Brilliant Stars booster box right now, and it's like, you get so much value out of them, as opposed to, if you're opening up Battle Styles or something where you get a handful of hits out of a box that you pay whatever for. But yeah, I think it's moving in the right direction, honestly.
I want to ask like a quick question. And I think this is like a question that a lot of content creators and collectors and maybe even investors kind of go through. Do you think that Pokemon itself, in terms of in the investability aspect, do you think that it would be a great idea to bring back the first edition stamp, kind of like what Konami is doing with Yu-Gi-Oh? Yu-Gi-Oh has that first edition stamp, and then after that they have their unlimited run, and then or do you think that Pokemon should start doing numbered cards, kind of like what sports cards are currently doing? like what are your thoughts around that? Because you know, like there's so many different ways. I just think that for the vast majority of like hardcore collectors that focus so much on rarity, they just don't see that value behind modern. And so like they'll go to sets that have difficulty in terms of grading or difficulty in terms of acquiring or trophy cards and so on and so forth, to be able to get their fix. So I just wanted to know what your thoughts are, because you're also a very hardcore collector in terms of rarity as well.
Yeah, so I mean, I originally started before YouTube. A lot of people don't know is that I was the guy behind the scenes collecting and investing and doing all this stuff before, well before I even stepped foot and did my first YouTube video. Probably
Mm-hmm.
at least 4 years of just like real collecting, like every day collecting, grinding, searching, finding, grading, all that stuff. And then one of the things that attracted me to it was the first edition stamp cards from Wizards of the Coast era. And as we know nowadays, a first edition WotC card in comparison to a card without the stamp could be, tens of thousands of dollars in difference and rarity and stuff like that. Well, when we move through and we see that they kind of ended it right at the Legendary Collection, basically was the set that they stopped really doing that. And of course there was base 2 without it, but Neo Destiny was really like the last first edition. Then we move into the E series stuff, and then of course the EX era and all that. But the first edition stamp in modern collecting, I don't know necessarily if it has a place at this time because of the fact that Pokemon already is struggling to keep up with demand. I look at it as something where they're never going to really be enough of it to fulfill even a fraction of the percentage of people that would want the first edition stuff. And then it turns into a lot of people only wanting the first edition stuff because they know that that is the top of the collectability, and that would cause some crazy extreme pricing for that kind of stuff. And you get into all these things where you have people just buying it all out and holding on to it and stockpiling it, and it turns into this big thing of like, you want to get a Brilliant Stars first edition box, $5,000-$10,000, and it's just, I think it's too much of a stretch right now to have that as an option that I think Pokemon could actually succeed with. But I do think that down the road it could be something that's very possible, but they really have to get their their printing capabilities up, and that could take, I don't even know how long that could take, a decade or who knows, 5-10 years, so that they actually have enough product to fulfill that where it's not crazy priced. But yeah, Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, Yu-Gi-Oh! is pretty successful with it, but it's because they have everything in line. They know they print an X amount. It's enough to fulfill it, but also it will get a price premium. Yeah, it'd be interesting to see it.
I
Yeah.
have a off-topic question that I think everybody's wondering. Rev, how do you stay so fresh, so clean with the eyebrows and the skin
He used to
fade
be
and
a
the
barber.
beard?
He used to be a barber.
Yeah,
So you do everything yourself now?
I do everything myself. But the one thing that, as nobody will believe me because that's my eyebrows. I was literally born like that. I think I have an Instagram photo of me as a kid, like maybe a couple posts ago. Same exact
Uh-huh.
eyebrows. I don't touch my eyebrows. It's just really funny. They look like they're just like I like get them
Stop.
done and everything. But
You're
I don't even
lying.
say it because no, that's the thing. Yeah, people won't believe it. Like that's the thing. It's like people will never believe it. So I just don't say anything. But like I have like photos of me as a kid, like they're literally exactly the same. But yeah, I went to school to do hair and stuff, and I did it for a little while. I did it for a couple years, but I realized it was not really for me. But I mean, it was for me, but it's just the direction I was moving with it wasn't really something that I wanted to do my whole life. But I met my wife. I met my wife there through that, so
Okay.
that was amazing. And now I
Oh.
have my family, and then also I learned how to do my own hair, so I don't have to go to the barber myself.
Yeah,
And
the
that's
fades are always clean, man.
I
I'm
learned to cut
jealous.
my
nice.
hair during COVID. Like give
Yeah,
myself
that would be a nice time.
the back is really hard to do because it's like when you move left, it's right, and when you move right, it's left. When you have like a mirror.
Oh yeah, the mirror. Yeah, you gotta like do all this crazy stuff. But
Is
yeah,
that what
once you
you
get the
do?
hang of it. Oh yeah, I have the handheld mirror. I got like my normal mirror in my bathroom. I'm just But it's like from doing it for years and years. It just like it's
Muscle
comes
memory.
natural now, of course.
Yeah.
But like, yeah, I remember during COVID, everybody's like, "Oh, I need a haircut." I was like, "Yeah, I cut my own hairs. That's how I keep my haircut and everything."
Dang. So what's the routine? Is it like twice a week, once a week,
Yeah,
once every other
it's
week?
like 3 times a week
Gee,
because
okay.
my hair is just like really thick. So if I let it go like too long, it's just like I can't. I don't like having hair on the side of my head. I just can't do it.
Oh, my hair
My
gets thick quick.
Yeah.
Right now it's thick. I need a haircut ASAP. Like I'll get a haircut right before an event, and like after the event, it's ready. It's like I need a haircut again.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's horrible.
You probably
But
have
to get
similar
us
hair then.
to get us back on track, Pokedean
Yeah.
in the chat has asked, it would be interesting if Pokemon decided to do signature cards, so like number cards, but like people forget that Pokemon is a playing game over a collecting card game. So like I know Why Schwartz does like signature cards, and not long ago, I remember Swolpoke, shout out to Swolpoke, he showed a box where there was a Chansey in that box. It's like one of the earlier
Yeah.
drawings of Chansey. It's like from Creature. It's called Creature something. I forgot exactly the actual title and the actual slab itself. But like it'd be interesting if a lot of these illustrators could like put in, like a rough sketch or like a sketch of a drawing into, these boxes, like as a box topper or something, where like everyone could take, I don't know. It's just like there's so many different ways. Like I know Jordan Fringe and Nate and Danny, they always like come up with different ideas as far as like what Pokemon could do for newer sets, and it's like, hey, this is for you guys, Pokemon. Like you guys can take these ideas and we'll give it to you for free. But yeah, I kind
They
of
watch
just
their podcast too. I'm sure they
Yeah.
probably have seen some of their ideas, which is crazy.
yeah, they do. Shout out to those guys. Love those guys over
Yeah.
there. I know
Wish I
you
could
have
talk
a
to them yesterday.
yeah, I know you have a podcast coming out with them tomorrow, so I'm looking forward to it. It's
Ask
been,
the $1 million question, or does people have to wait?
you can go ahead and ask. I don't know what the $1 million question is.
Cereal before milk, or milk before cereal?
Oh,
Is that a real question, bro?
They didn't ask
Yeah.
you. They didn't ask you.
No, they didn't.
Oh no.
They must-
Well,
Okay, let's
here
hear
you
it, let's
go.
hear it.
They must already know it's cereal before milk.
Oh, God.
Ooh, let's go. That's what I'm talking about. See, Shiv's one of those weird guys that milk before cereal.
Hey, hold on.
What, is
Me,
splash all over, bro? Like when
No.
you're pouring the cereal in?
nah, you got to have steady hands. Me and both Nate do this. It's milk before cereal.
Bro, but that's a flex. Like, cause you put the cereal in and then you pour the milk so you know exactly where it's gonna land. Like, but if you do the milk first, you're just like eyeballing it up. Like, all right, I'm gonna have
Facts.
the perfect amount.
Mhm.
Yeah, but it's also like the thing, like it depends on the cereal actually. Like for me, like if I have Fruity Pebbles and I'm eating a bowl of cereal and I put the cereal in first, then all of it's gonna get soggy, right? Versus like if I put the cereal in last, then there is still a level of crunch to it. So there's a science to this.
Bro, how long does it take you to between milk and cereal though? You just
Not
pour
that
the
long.
cereal and then you pour the milk in right away. You're saving like 5 seconds of crunch.
Yeah,
Hey,
exactly.
Sometimes you
Alright,
gotta
you gotta
wake
get your
up in the
crunch.
mornings. You got your cartoons on. It's like you gotta
Bro, I'll tell you
relive.
the hack though. I'll tell you the hack. You only put like half of or a quarter of the amount of cereal that you normally put in. You eat that first, you get that crunch, and then you do the other half, so that's all crispy and ready to go.
Ooh, that's like best of both
Never done.
worlds.
Mhm.
Oh, nobody ever came
Think
up
about
with
it. Think about it. Try it. Let me know.
Yeah. Try it,
Is
Shiv.
it, Jizzy, you'll be our guinea pig. You're gonna try that now.
Facts. I'll do
No,
it.
Andy, I have actually not had cereal in like the past 2 years or milk.
Dang.
Yeah,
Well,
I break
also
out.
back to like the topic y'all were talking about.
Yeah.
Y'all were talking about like cereal. What if Pokemon came out with like
Pokemon cereal? Yeah, I have that.
no,
It's right-
like a box collection. You know how sports
there.
people do it, where they have like the hobby boxes. What if they had like a hobby Pokemon box?
With like different pulls that you can get.
Yeah, or like I don't know. Yeah, maybe like numbered. I guess numbered like in conjunction with it, where it's only catered towards I guess the vintage side or the collector side, not just like the player side. Like 100% collection side, almost like the UPCs to an extent, because the UPCs, were uniquely with the gold cards and their sleeves and all that stuff. So like a Pokemon hobby box. I don't know. I think that would be pretty cool.
Yeah, I could see it. What would
Someone
I
in the
do?
chat has asked to do a keyboard check. So My keyboard is the standard keyboard that came in with my computer.
My, same. Look at this.
Wireless, but that's only because of the screens. I have a real
I've been wanting a
gaming one
wireless
for
one. This cord stuff is just out of control. Do what?
Yeah. Oh,
No, I was
bro.
gonna have a gaming keyboard with the nice clicks on my.
Hey,
my
that might
gaming.
be the next thing you do. You know, you might become a huge video game Twitch streamer.
Well, it's funny. Yeah, it's funny you mention it. It's something like I was talking to my editor about the other day, and he's like, how have you ever thought about going outside of Pokemon and doing content related to other things? And it's like, I don't know. I think I had a gaming channel set up. I just never launched it, but it's so competitive with gaming channels. They're so competitive. So I was like, I don't know. Oh, Pokemon cards.
Mine and Yizzy's editor is gonna hate us because it's like we've been jumping on topics and we haven't been sticking on the same topic. And he's like, hey, if you guys could like just make it a little bit easier for me and just keep it on the same topic and then not like derail the conversation. But you know, that's the beauty of a podcast. You know, sometimes we get derailed and it's just us hanging out. So like, there's no pressures. There's no like, it's just us hanging out. You know what I mean?
Yeah, for sure.
But yeah. I mean, like, who knows? We might see you. You know, you might start streaming Pokemon Unite and you might become a professional Pokemon VGC player, and we might see you at Worlds competing and, you know, owning and dominating that space too. So that could be something.
Probably not, but thanks.
Yeah, no.
Are you a gamer by trait though? Like, do you have those like Call of Duty like fast reflex thumbs? You know, from all those packs.
I have like N64 hands, so I have like this is like my skill set is not near, nowhere near enough to do like professionally. I would have to bank it all and just having fun moments, just like, messing around, but not being super like hardcore gamer. Try to make it that. If I can't
think
make
it was
that,
that podcast you're on with Poke Knowledge, where what was it, Ryan? He was talking about Pokemon Masters, and then the three of y'all were just like, no idea. And he's just like, you gotta train. Like he was like getting into it, and all three of y'all like, nah, Conker's bad fur day. What's up? I was just laughing because he was like super serious, and like the look on your faces were just like, I have no idea. What are these modern games?
He was trying to get me to play. I was at his place the other day filming. We were doing another video over there, and he was trying to get me to play that like super hardcore. I was like, maybe. He was like, we can stream it. I was like, yeah. I don't know how many people watch it.
We eventually will get good old CTR on the podcast. That guy is his collection just blows my mind. Like I know whenever I see him on TikTok, and like he doesn't get the attention he deserves on that platform. Yizzy, we're echoing off of your screen, by the way.
Still?
Yeah, it was just doing it for a second. But whenever he shows his stuff and the production behind it on TikTok, I'm like, man, that is so cool. And like what he has, the Master Trainer box that him and Radar have makes me so jealous, because that we were just talking about regrets earlier. That's one of my biggest regrets. So it's a 2001 Master Trainer box. Yep, 4 booster packs. Yeah. And that thing, I saw it. I used the money instead to buy my Shining Charizard combat figure that's sealed, but I was gonna wait 2 weeks later, and then get that Master Trainer box. And then, how like eBay shows like who's watching, like how many people are watching it. Mm-hmm. No one was watching it. I'm like, ooh, I'm about to pull this and be slick with it. Nope, it was gone immediately. And I'm like, dang. And I find out like 6 months later on an Instagram post that Radar ended up getting it. I'm like, dang, that's a big regret.
Oh, he did get it. Yeah, and it's like, oh, man, I feel like that was like the wild west of Pokemon collecting back. It was like stuff would just sit that you would, if you ever saw like nowadays, gone in a heartbeat, or it'd be up for like crazy amounts. Like
like those types of collectors though, like the ones that particularly specialize that's not in like the card space and like in the very obscure stuff, super competitive. So like when that stuff pops up on eBay, they're hounds with it. Like it's gone almost immediately. Like they had like the save tabs that they must have on this stuff is ridiculous.
Yeah.
So is it hard for you to like find products at this point? Because I remember y'all used to like go driving around and all this stuff, and look for products, and y'all could just find storage units, find collections. Is it harder for you, or is it like easier? Especially that now that you have a platform. Oh,
Yeah,
really?
wait, it doesn't. The platform doesn't make it easier. Like it was just a completely different market in time where there
Hmm.
were way less eyeballs on these things, and it was one of my favorite things to do was to just every day sit down a couple times a day, just type in Pokemon newly listed and just refresh. And Ryan would do the same thing. We'd go hang out. We'd go to the diner and get breakfast, and we'd be just sitting there on the side with our phone, like refresh, refresh. Stuff would pop up every day, like that would
Dang.
just, it wasn't as competitive,
Hmm.
and things were priced in a completely different way. And then in terms of like finding those like crazy, crazy things in the wild, it wasn't really as much as people might think. Honestly, it was really just like making like having relationships with people where you're buying from them and buying from them. And then there was one guy that was like the big find that we had, where it was like he was ready to retire and he had an entire store of a collectible store. It's something that I don't think will ever replicate again or ever will happen again in my lifetime, but
Mm,
it was something that was one of the coolest things I think I'd ever had been a part of. And it's a
mm,
shame that I didn't have the channel back then, because it would have been stuff that you would stuff that you would have never ever even imagined you could find was in this store. And it was not just like a store that you walk in, like maybe like the size of like a Starbucks or something. Like it was
mm.
like a huge store,
Yeah.
a huge basement. Like it was like a house. It looked like a house. It was like a house. It was like
Mm.
4,000 square feet or something probably. And
Dang.
it was huge,
Holy
and
crap.
like huge. And I can't tell you, like it was like not you can't even say it was like you were a kid in the candy store. It was like you were a kid at Disney World and you could just grab, like, go on anything you wanted, grab anything you wanted.
Yeah.
And it was just unbelievable. Like it was unbelievable. And we filled up like U-Haul trucks, and
Jeez.
like just
That's
we filled it up, and then we came back the next day, we filled it up, and we came back the next day, filled it up. And it was like we would look at each other as we were like pulling things out, and we were just like and like yeah. And I mean it was a lot. Like we paid a lot of money for it. It was all like it was a good deal in bulk, but it wasn't like, oh, we like got like a crazy steal of a steal. At the time it was a
Mm.
good, it was like maybe 75% of market price, what you can
Right.
expect for a huge buyout like that. But
Right.
the thing that I like to do was not just sell it all, like, right, like I kept a lot of it in my
Mm.
collection and inventory and stuff. So it's like to have it now, even just like 3-4 years after that, it makes it even that much crazier. But like any TCG like you could think of was probably a part of there, at least like a box or two of it. And it was just wild. He would buy whatever set he would buy for the TCG, he would buy a couple extra cases and put them away. In some instances, many cases, and sell them over the years. But he had so many cases from each TCG left over. It was just like a mind blowing.
Wow. Yeah. There's actually one story. I don't know if Lootbox is in here, but he lives in Atlanta and I live in Alabama. Crazy. I'm like one of like 5 Asians in Alabama. But like there's a store called
Win
Win
condition,
Condition
yeah.
there. And I used to go there every week and they bought this like massive collection and then Lootbox found it. And then I remember I wanted to buy something. It was a booster box, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, Rev just bought it." I was like, "No!" And you
Which
know what
box?
they?
Which box?
I think it was first edition Team Rocket,
Okay.
and then no, Japanese. I think it was Japanese Team
I was
Rocket.
gonna
That's what it
say I
was.
don't remember. Yeah.
A Japanese sealed booster box of Team Rocket. I think that's what it was. I'm pretty sure it was us. I'm like 90% sure.
They had stuff that you don't see it
Yes.
like ever.
Yes, they
Yeah.
bought it from this lady who her dad died and like,
Yeah.
was just liquidating. Which I'll tell you this, from that same lady, I don't know if I'm supposed to say, but from that same lady, they just purchased a first edition booster box from her that he still had.
First edition.
Base set,
ba-
sorry.
Yikes.
Yeah.
Like
I,
Scoops. We
I
got ourselves
literally
a
got that
mystery.
news 2 days ago. Like she still had that. Like she still has collections that she doesn't want to like offload. She didn't want to offload everything, and I think she only offloaded
Yeah.
like 50% to them. But like they won't even give her a name. Like
Yeah.
Nah, you keep that source quiet. You keep that hush
Yeah.
hush. I wonder if she has any vintage toys, because if she does, I'm gonna be on it like
I
hot
don't
sauce.
know, and I kind of know how much they paid for it too. Maybe
Yeah.
that's crazy
Who
though.
knows, man? They're like all over the place,
Yeah,
aren't they?
yeah.
It's
They've been
like 100
traveling a lot too.
or 200
Yeah,
or
I
400.
I was just talking to one of the guys when I was in Collectors Con in Tampa. I was trying to sell some cards to them. Yeah, those guys are everywhere.
Yeah, that used to be
Yeah.
my store, and then it's so far away now. Gas, golly, gas. I'm sorry, I don't want to talk about gas.
No, they like they. I bought when I bought some of the boxes from the find. One of their guys just like flew out to me. I was like, "Are you
Oh,
sure? You know, fly out?" He's like, "Yeah." I was like, "That's cool." I mean, cause like I was like, I wanted boxes, but I'm so like crunched with time and stuff. I was like, I just wouldn't have time to like come out and do it. So they're like, "Oh, it's cool. I'll send one of my guys out, fly it out to you." I was
yeah, I thought
like,
they
"Okay."
shipped it or something. I don't know.
Yeah, no, they just like, "Oh, fly it out." All right.
Well, they're like, "Here's the box." You're like, "Thanks." See
Yeah,
ya.
no, it was like we met up and yeah, I think he had him in his trunk or something, and I just like looked over all the boxes and I was like, yeah, this looks good, you know.
All right, bye.
Dang.
Thank you
Yeah,
for
they're
And I
coming.
took the
they're pretty
boxes
nice
and I
people
ran.
though. Do what?
Then I took the boxes and I ran.
Dang, and you opened them all, and then they pulled all the awesome cards for everyone. And
Hey,
big
I
deal.
mean, people are cool. They love showing like I mean, I filmed a video with Ryan and Radar the other day. I think we're dropping it tomorrow, and like Radar came by. He had all his cool stuff, and yeah, it's cool. People love just showing their stuff, and Radar had this awesome like trophies and stuff, and like
Mm,
crazy stuff I'd never seen before, like in person before. Hell, and I was
mm.
like, dude, this is awesome, and he brought it by, and it was fun. It's fun. It's fun to hang out and see people's collections and stuff.
Yeah, yeah. Apparently, that owner, like that whole store is pretty cool. My experience with like certain like card stores, they're just like, I wouldn't say they're like not nice. It's just like very awkward when you go in there, and they like never
Mhm.
say hi. And then when you ask them for something, they just like get to the point and then like leave the rest. And but win condition, I like them. They're really nice. They're always like every 10 minutes, they're like, hey, can I help you? Like, you want to talk about something? And they're just always talking the whole time. So yeah.
That's
Mm.
cool.
Good.
To have, yeah.
So the oh no, go ahead, Shiv.
I was gonna say, Tina asked, you just completed your booster box collection, and that was a goal that you put on yourself. What's like the next thing that you're trying to complete? Like, what's the next big goal that you have now?
Hmm.
See, that's the thing, right? It's like when I was telling you about the journey and everything, I got the box and I was sitting there like, I don't know, like I
Now
feel
what?
like, yeah, it's like, wow, we did it. But the journey for the last 6, 7 years was like of getting into those boxes was such a great experience and a memory for every single box that I got. And now I'm like, what's next? You know, I've always wanted a trophy card, but
You should get a snap
you know, which,
contest card to match the snap machine.
yeah, like yeah, you see that they just there was like a public sale for
The Magic
the
Carp, I
one
think.
that's never, yeah, the one that's never been seen or whatever, and that was so cool to see. It's like, yes, it would probably have to be a snap card, honestly. Snap cards are just, I've had, and it was like that thing like we talked about before, like you have it in your hand, you can just click it and buy it, and you just let it go, and it happened like the Charmander. I remember they had the Charmander one up. I think it was on like Ludkins or something, and man, I had
Yeah,
that.
it
I
sold
was
for like
like ready to go.
75
Yeah, I was like, I was like, I gotta
raw
get this.
too. Insane.
Wait, like 7,500,
Yeah.
right?
No,
Yeah, yeah.
$75,000 raw.
Man, I think I saw one. It might have been before that, but I think I saw Snap Charmander. It was like nothing for compared to what it is now. I think it might have been like sub 10K raw. It was something like that, I think. And I was like, I'm gonna buy. I forget. Maybe it wasn't on there. Maybe it was eBay or something. But yeah, and it was like all those times. And the guy with the Poliwags or one of
Yeah.
the original. Oh my God, they were putting them all up on eBay,
Yeah.
and I'm like, I gotta get one or two, and
I was watching that
you know, it's
Poliwag one
weird.
on eBay for like the longest time. I was like, man, and this is like at the time when like I didn't like my following isn't big, but it's not small by any means. And so like at that time when I just came into the hobby, I was like, man, that is a sick card. And I just looked at it every single day. I'd just open up eBay and looked at that Poliwag on eBay. And I'm like, man, I think they had it listed for like 13 at that time. I can't remember exactly, but it, man,
Yeah.
that's
They were
that's like
dumping them. They were
a 5 year
dumping
goal for
them.
me.
Yeah. Yeah, it's a good goal. I mean, dude, a snap card is, I think that's one of the coolest cards, honestly. I mean, but it's my biased opinion because it's like
Yeah.
N64 related. But
Yeah.
I don't know if other people think they're as cool as I think they are. But I think if somebody has makes it even possible with a complete snap card collection one day, I would love to just look at it and just be like, oh my god, like that's because there's like I think is it the Pikachu or something that's never been seen before, or one of the cards has never been like publicly sold or even known to exist because all the cards went to that person. So it's
Yeah, I have a guy that I follow on Instagram. I won't say his name on here, but uh I've spoken to him before because he's been like a great resource to me when it comes to like even graded phone cards and like I believe he had like 7 Pokemon Snap machines. I mean Snap contest cards, and they're all high grades, either 8s or 9s, no 10s. But yeah, I think he has like a couple duplicates, but yeah, Radar knows who it is.
yeah.
But it like when I saw it, I was like, "Whoa, that is sick!" And
Yeah.
it's I make that as a long term goal. But if Yizzy's okay, I would like to get back on topic. Like
I'm
we
not-
could talk for days.
It's like in my
Yeah.
nose and I can't sneeze and it just won't come
Mhm.
out. You know?
No,
Don't you hate when that happens?
no, it's never happened to me.
Okay. Rev,
But
don't you hate when that happens?
Yeah, it's easy. I hate when that happens.
no,
See, he relates with me, man. God, why can't you be like that, Shiv?
oh no, man, I'm a terrible friend.
Yeah.
But I wanted to get your take on vintage cards. Like we see this uptick with vintage cards, and I was kind of having this conversation with Yizzy just like yesterday. Actually, it's like right now we just saw a sale for a first edition Shadowless Charizard card at $420,000. We saw the Pikachu Illustrator 7, I believe, selling for 720,000. That's confirmed, not 900,000. These upticks have, I don't want to say organically because like I don't know to what level something's being manipulated, but in some way, shape, or form, it's kind of interesting right now because these prices have gone up without the names of like let's say Logan Paul or any big names out there. So like, do you think that trend is going to happen, or do you think like it's just like a coincidental thing where something just kind of happened, and where do you see a lot of these big cards, like let's say a decade from now or 15 years from now?
I think the Grail cards. I mean, if you're talking about Grail cards like that, I can see the trend continuing. I mean, if we compare it, especially to sports, Pokemon is just kind of like peanuts in comparison to some of
Mm.
these other sort of things. I mean, all relative. Obviously, it's huge sums of money,
Like a
but
Honus
if we
Wagner.
think of that, yeah, if we think of it, Honus Wagner, however many millions that is in comparison to a Charizard or a Pikachu Illustrator or what have you, you almost think like, wow, what is the possibility with this stuff? Now, that is for those categories specifically that I'm talking about, right? I'm not talking about really anything under that sort of like whatever that Holy Grail status is for those certain Pokemon cards. It's like, what do we think about first edition base cards? Like not including the Charizard. Where do they go? That's a tough one to say. It is the first edition base set, but we do see more of these cards like continuously coming out of collections, big finds. The first set boxes, we've seen a bunch of those opened over the last couple of years. I don't know exactly how many, but it almost seems like maybe in the past couple of years, I don't know, a dozen or something maybe, publicly. So I don't know if there's anybody privately. Could be. I mean, Drake was opening up like however many hundreds
I
of
was
thousands.
just about to ask
It's
you
like,
that. I was just about to talk about that.
I mean, there's people that love to do stuff privately. I used to open up first ed base boxes privately all the time. It sounds crazy nowadays, but I used to open them up frequently, multiple times per year. But I didn't do anything on video because I wasn't a content creator and I wasn't doing that. I was, you know, I had whatever, like, privately. So, you know, whoever wants to open up these boxes and send them in, and they get graded, and then the population goes up and all that stuff. Yeah, it's interesting. It's cool to just watch what happens. Really,
Mhm.
I'm here for the ride, so I'm enjoying it.
I think Logic does that too. Like he opened a
Oh yeah,
couple of boxes and then I think what was it? Rhyme
It was
Style was like do it on camera or something like said that he did it on
yeah,
camera.
yeah, it was base set. Yeah.
yeah. I know he was doing base unlimited.
Yeah, he did
But
it
yeah, I'm
with
sure there's
Rhyme and
big
Charizard
Pokemon.
King.
Yeah, I'm sure there's big Pokemon fans out there that, who knows, they want a first edition base box. They buy it. They win it on auction from Heritage or wherever they win it from, and they still auction those like all the time. And
Yeah.
where do they go? In people's collections. Just some guy that just wants to open it up.
Rich people. One of the collection of heroes 151 order. Let's see what else. What else you got?
I was gonna ask.
Opening them up, they're way less. Like, just to make that very clear. Like,
Yeah.
$10,000. I mean, that's a lot of money, obviously, but you're
Yeah.
talking about 10,000
Relative to what it is today.
That's
yeah.
where I was. Yeah.
Yeah.
So, like, it actually made like sense in a way.
Financially
Like,
speaking, in a way. Yeah.
financially, yeah, it's like, yeah, but yeah, I would never be like, all right, I'm just gonna sit and open up a $400,000 box. Like, yeah.
Dang.
That's insane. I kind of want to talk about the role of technology in this space. So obviously we see like how Beckett, they just announced that they're gonna have a vault. I think they're changing their name. I can't remember exactly to what it is, but they're changing stuff around. They're having a vault incorporated with it. AI is being used in other facilities for grading. There's different applications being used. NFTs are coming into place. I kind of want to talk about where do you see do you see like trading cards in a way in sports cards or just cards in general entering the space where they're eventually going to be traded back and forth, kind of like day trading with stocks or crypto? Just like do you see that kind of happening with cards? Like, do you think that you'll ever see a first issue Shadowless Charizard card on a ticker where you see like a red up and down bar or a green up and down bar within our lifetime?
I mean, I do know though that they had the partial ownership sort of things on those. I don't remember the exact name of the websites and stuff where people could just buy in, and then I assume they sell it at a certain price if whatever amount of shareholders agree to that. If it comes to that, I'm sure the technology will continue to just advance and grow in the space. I mean, with all the NFTs and everything and all that stuff, it's just kind of like the beginning of it. I've been kind of just sitting back and just watching all that stuff go down and see where it settles. But yeah, I could see all that kind of taking place. It's interesting to think about because I feel like the second you feel like you learned something, it's already irrelevant or outdated like the next week. So I'm like continuously trying to just keep up with what's going on. But yeah, the digital ownership and all that is going to be huge.
Yeah, I'm just curious to see how things like kind of play out. I've just been watching. I don't really participate in the whole NFT thing. I like being able to, like, I have crypto, like I have a decent amount of it, but with NFTs, I just like, I stay away. I'm watching it, just see how it is, and I'm just perfectly content holding my cards and chilling what I have and being able to turn on my snap machine whenever and or just look at what I have behind me just from time to time. It's just, I don't know. I'd much rather see it in person versus like something that I can't even hold.
No. Is he sitting there like?
He's like, oh God, what is he talking about now?
Every time.
What is that?
Every time what?
Every time someone has a snap machine, which isn't a lot of people, but then like, yeah, he likes to bring it up.
Actually,
well, we buy. We buy.
Rev, I was actually going to buy the snap machine that Rev has right there. Like I saw it pop up.
Were you?
Yeah, I was thinking about it. Boom, gone. And then I was like, and the reason why I thought about, I kind of passed on it was because it was slightly more than what I got mine for. But yours came with the printer paper and the ink, and it was closer to you actually, closer to you and Jordan Fringe in that particular area. And so I was like, it was gone. So then I spent like 2 weeks later, and found this on like
he told me he was actually looking to grab it too, and it just like. I saw it go up and I'm like, I think now's the opportunity, because the problem with those is that I always would see them on West Coast, somewhere so far that it's like, to try to figure out how to ship that, and if it's working and all this stuff is just too much. So I just kind of waited patiently until one came up that I could do that was relatively local, and I just jumped on. I called the guy, and I don't know if you saw, it was one of my first videos actually when I grabbed it and I filmed the whole thing, and the guy was really cool, and he actually, they had this is where that sign came from, but there's another part to it over here where it has like Charmander, Squirtle, Bulbasaur, and all that stuff that went under it, but it didn't fit back there. But yeah, it's some really cool stuff in there.
Yeah, yeah. I'm still looking for a decent price key. That's the one thing. One of my buddies, he figured out a way how you can like manually actually like print out the stickers without the use of the card. So I thought that was pretty cool.
Yeah, there's a video on that too, I think.
Yeah, yeah.
Because I was buying up, I still buy cards once in a while because my kids love to print on it. So I only try to do it sparingly, because it's like every time you swipe one of those cards in there, it's
gone. Yeah, it's done.
And like every time you use it, it's like, all right, I gotta use the ink and printer, and hopefully nothing breaks, because it's like, it's still like knock on wood, the thing like just works like perfectly. So it's always
Jordan Fringe like rigged his up to where you could play on the Nintendo Switch, GameCube, and the N64 and still print stickers from all of them, which I thought was super cool. But yeah, it was a fun experience. Like I drove like 6 hours up to Ohio and then 6 hours back and had this in my Subaru, and I was just like a kid, driving back home with the biggest cheese on my face with it. I was like, yes, I got one, because they're just kind of tough to find. But
dude, I love them. Yeah, it's such a nostalgic piece, man. I remember going in Blockbuster as a kid. Like, I would never really use it, but I just would see it there, and I never actually bought the cards and printed from it. But I actually, maybe I did. I can't even remember, dude. But like, I just remember them. It's just something cool to have.
We'll change the topic because this conversation, Yizzy's heard this story like,
and that's great, guys.
times.
Like, it's just absolutely amazing. Like the snapshot, I'm just like so proud of you.
Man, someone's a little jealous.
It's like, honestly, it's like the ultimate like background like piece. It just completes everything, like the nostalgia.
Honestly, I like my tent a little bit more.
It just clicks. Like,
yeah,
it's
my vintage tent right here.
Oh, and it's all set up.
Yeah, I sometimes you can hang out in it.
Yeah,
you sound surprised. It's all set up.
Yeah, no, because I didn't know if you had it in the box or something like that. But when you have it set up,
one of my buddies has it in the box, and that's the one thing I want, but I can't find any. It's so tough to find. Like, it's just so tough. Like, I don't even bother to get on eBay anymore because it's just so tough to find stuff nowadays. Like there's stuff that I've been looking for like 3 years now, and once it's sold, I haven't seen it since. So it's just so tough. But Yizzy, what do you have to say? Like, do you have anything to say? Because I think we covered all of our topics so far, if I'm not mistaken.
Man, the things I have to say are so random. They'll be like, where did that come from?
Go ahead and ask.
We can talk about, Rev is like the mystery box cop, I feel like. Like, he'll buy mystery boxes and he'll let you know if it's good or not, And that way we don't have to buy it. I remember watching like one video where like he was losing like $20-$25 each like mystery pack.
That's like
and then
for me.
yeah, and then like when you pull that shift tree and like all the effects, I just lost it, man.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it was like a GMA like shift tree, and you were just like, and you just got up. You're like, I'm done.
Was it like the reverse, like 9 or something crazy? Yeah, like.
Yeah, it was like a reverse vivid voltage shift tree, like a GMA or like a G something GSG or something like that. And then
I mean, it's like it got crazy with the mystery box things because they
get you.
Buy them. Yeah, it's like, and I do the videos because people just they enjoy watching them, and they also like to see like if these mystery boxes are actually worth your money, which. A lot of times they're not.
They're not.
Like, a lot of times they're really not. And it's like, and they just sell them and sell them and sell them. And, people buy them. And it's like, you spend $60 and you get $20 of stuff. And it's just, they sell them all day.
Did you see what Pat Flynn did? It was pretty cool. Because, like, you try to stay incognito with, like, that way they don't know your PokeRev. He did a video where he was like, I'm going to purchase a mystery box from the person as an influencer and then purchase a box as a
Ooh.
random and like compare like if it was worth it or not, or like if they changed it or if they like added some
Yeah.
extra stuff. Oh, that was pretty cool. So that goes back to like what you were saying as content creating. You're just like trying to innovate, try to think of something new and try to like one up your game and stuff. So I'm learning,
Yeah.
taking
Yeah,
notes.
There's always a
Oh.
twist you can put on something.
Yeah.
There's always a twist.
We had Pat on the podcast like I think it was like like 3 or 4 videos right after his channel had just launched, and we were talking to him before the YouTube channel had launched before then, and it's just cool to see like his journey into all of this, because like he wasn't really collecting Pokemon cards, and now he's like a hardcore fan, and I love it. Like I met you and Pat for the first time in Dallas, and it was just so cool to hang out and just open up packs and just hang out and have a good time. That was like a huge thing for me, because like often at times we don't really get to hang out and we talk to each other all the time. And I know I've been sending DMs back and forth to you for, I don't know, maybe close to 3 years now, and so it's been really interesting. It's been really fun. We have a lot of different events that we go to, and I've been trying to get you to come out to Collecticon. You got to show up to Collecticon at some point. You got to talk to my guy Matthew.
Yeah.
No, but one day you'll eventually come. But
I will.
yeah, I kind of want to talk real fast before we get into anything else, because we're kind of getting close to that hour time. We don't want to take too much of Rev's time, but we're gonna go ahead and talk about our current sponsors. Our current sponsors is the Pokemon Network. Kenley is your one-stop shop of buying everything from the cheapest of slabs to probably the most expensive stuff that you could possibly find. That guy has everything. Then we have TCG Stadium. TCG Stadium is a online card shop in Nashville. They've been sponsoring us since the very jump. We're very fortunate to have people who believe in us and people and just good friends who come on the podcast. But they house lots of Pokemon product, lots of modern product. And finally, we have Collector. We're not sponsored by them, but the reason why we have them up here is because we genuinely like being able to provide value to our audience. If you're that type of collector and you have thousands of stuff in your collection, thousands of cards in your collection, like myself or Yizzy or Rev right here, Collector is a great app for you or your family. You open up a pack. What you could do is pretty much get any card from a multitude of different TCGs, even Funko Pops, as well as basketball cards. Put that card, search that card, and add it to your portfolio. And from that point on, you can pretty much manage what kind of cards you have and see the trends of your portfolio, see if it goes up and down on a regular basis. And I know some people are starting to use this instead of Excel, and it's a great way to use, especially if you're using it for insurance purposes. I use it. I open it up all the time. I check it just to see if my cards are still my 2 cards that I put in there are still worth the same. I know Yizzy uses it from time to time too. He likes it. He loves it. But
Yeah, great. I have it right here.
Yeah. But go ahead and check it out if you haven't. And if you haven't liked and subscribed to this channel, please do so. We appreciate every single one of you guys. And if you're listening to us right now through Spotify or Apple Podcasts, make sure you give us a 5-star review. Otherwise, Yizzy will cry.
Yes, big cry. Not little cry, big cry.
Yes. And we do all these things just to make sure that Yizzy doesn't cry, because after this podcast he'll be upset, or he'll call me at 3:00 in the morning and say, "Hey, Shiv, we didn't get so and so didn't give us a 5-star review, so I'm crying right now." I'm just kidding. That does not happen.
Yeah, too much. Yeah.
No, I'm just kidding. I guess what's something that you would I guess like we're gonna shift back over to the conversation real fast, just kind of like a bonus question round. If anyone in the chat has any questions, please type them up, and then we'll be more than happy to ask Rev here. Tina asks, Rev, are you putting any of those PSA trainer gallery cards on your eBay? And congrats on the complete PSA 10 set.
Thank you, Tina. I appreciate it. Yeah, I definitely am going to be putting up some duplicates for sure. Yeah, it's like I get so backed up. I have so many cards that I want to list, but it's so tough when you do daily content, and then I'm like, all right, I want to do something else, and I'm like, no, you can't. You gotta film.
You need an assistant. You're gonna need an assistant here soon, man.
I definitely am. I think I'm overdue, but yeah, that would be nice.
Yeah. Hire Shiv.
Hey, come on, Chef.
Hey.
Hey, I mean, if you hire it, if you need an intern, I'll come. I'll pull through. Nothing wrong with it. I'm a young guy. I can do it.
Intern. I like the sound of that.
But yeah, I mean, it's always we've been wanting you on the podcast, or like ever since we started this podcast. You know, we're slowly going through our list of people that we've always wanted on our podcast. And you know, when we first did this, like, we gotta have Rev on the podcast. You know, like, it'd be really cool to have Rev on here because this guy has everything. And you know, I'm a collector at heart, and you know, seeing what you have as far as all the different collectibles you have outside of cards, it's always inspiring to see. And you know, I think it's safe to say, like, myself and Yizzy aspire to be at that level that you're at right now. And a lot of people who are in this chat who are also in the collecting space or in the selling space, they aspire to be just like that too. And we just, you know, thank you for your time. We hope to see you more at in-person events, and we hope to see you on the podcast in the future. You're more than welcome to come back. And Yizzy, do you have anything else to say?
No, I think you nailed the head on the coffin. Head nail on the coffin.
Yeah,
That's how it goes.
I think you hit the.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate the kind words, man. That means a lot. Thank you.
We want to give you an opportunity to kind of plug yourself. I mean, I'm sure everyone here pretty much knows you. Yeah, not that you need it or anything, but
everybody knows Rev here. Come on, Shiv.
Yeah, everyone who knows. Yeah, I just kind of want to like plug yourself in, just kind of like let people know what future projects that you're working on or things that you could be working on. Kind of give them, you know, a sneak peek into something, maybe something that you're going to do that most of these people don't know.
Exclusive.
Yeah, we need the alpha.
Okay, I got you.
That was the 95. Ooh, yes. All 31 are going to get.
This is a sneak peek.
Ooh.
So I got these crazy boxes when I was over Ryan's. So it's gonna be featured in the video as one of the items I picked up. But like, they're so cool. I didn't even want to open them. They're that cool. I've never had them before. But let me switch like this. Here they are. Have you ever seen these?
Oh, no.
So there's 3 packs in here. 1 Diamond and Pearl promo card, but I think there's some EX era packs in these, and I think they want to say that there's maybe 2 Diamond and Pearl packs in here. But they're really cool. Like, I'm just like, I don't want to open them, but I do. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But yeah, it's just like one of the things. And just kind of continuing doing, you know, the daily content and just doing my thing. But yeah, you guys can probably, I mean, if you don't follow me, you can find me on YouTube, Instagram,
Boom,
got the
there it is.
Facebook,
TikTok,
got the Reddit page. Yeah, we got the TikTok. I don't have the TikTok on there. We got the Reddit page if you want to throw some stuff on there. I have a Twitter. I don't use a Twitter.
Jeff the Ref
can
says
just
he has
scan-
hot sauce.
I have hot sauce. Yeah.
I need to buy that hot sauce just to add to a collection. Be like, hey, this is what everyone else is doing. I think myself and Yizzy will eventually have like Poke Tea Time tea bags.
Dude, that's a great idea.
Teacups, tea bags, and then like have them like the first 151 serialed, like 1 out of 151. Yeah.
No, that's doing too much.
Oh, the teacups.
Oh,
First
teacups.
edition.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, first edition teacups.
Yeah.
Brit Day Cake asks, who is your favorite Pokemon creator?
Oh, that's a really good question.
And on the spot too.
No, that's the thing. Like, there's so many awesome channels out there that kind of fly under like the radar, you know? Like, I will literally just go on YouTube and sometimes I'll just type in Pokemon cards, and there's so many cool channels that come up where it's like there's guys going to like, I saw one dude, I'm sorry, I don't know like everybody's channel names and stuff, but I saw like one dude going to Dave and Buster's and like getting like winning the games and like getting tickets and then using those to get like the cards. I was like, yo, that's sick.
I've seen that. I think I've seen that.
Put in serious. Yeah,
I
there's
did
people that put in,
that.
like,
Was
serious
that me?
commitment. You did that? Dude.
No, I have a TikTok on it, but it wasn't like. Let me see. I mean, it probably wasn't me, but I did that like 2 years ago or last year.
Maybe it was you.
Oh,
No,
Birthday
there's-
Cake asked that you were her favorite content creator. She wasn't asking the question, but we're gonna go ahead and ask the question
Oh.
anyways.
Oh, oh, thank you, bro. I really appreciate that. Like that's crazy to think. Cause like,
Focus. Focus. It's not focusing. Oh, there.
there you go, you got it.
And then like I end up like not having enough just for like one pack, so I gave the rest of the tickets to like this kid. It probably wasn't me,
Might have.
but like I
been.
definitely did it like last year at the
Might have
beach.
been.
Should we like? Can we stay? I don't know.
Oh,
I just ended up giving it to a kid because I only had 200 tickets and it was 1,000 and I wasn't going to win Pokemon cards. So
Yeah, it was. I mean, it was like
nice guy,
But-
Yizzy.
yeah.
That's cool, man.
That was his
Yeah.
last TikTok ever that he made. He doesn't produce on there.
I gave up.
TikTok takes a lot of
Yeah.
work, bro. I see
Um,
what you guys. Yeah.
I'm curious to so Fat Man over here asked, do you secretly collect any other TCG other than Pokemon? And do you plan on making content in regards to that? Like I know you do I know you do like high-end Yu-Gi-Oh, and like you were collecting that too, but like what else do you do?
I do a lot of different TCGs that I don't actually publicly like have on my channel. I do. I was buying like Neopets boxes. I don't know if you guys even know what that.
I want to
that
get
is.
into that. Wizards
Bro,
of the Coast.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I want to get those sketch cards.
Oh yeah, there's some cool ones. I was buying Digimon boxes for a while. I have a bunch of Digimon I was buying. I got Kingdom Hearts. I have some boxes of Kingdom Hearts. There's like
Digimon to the Moon,
all
guys.
kinds of random ones. But yeah, and outside of that, of course, I do video game collecting. That's like another big hobby of mine. And yeah, I just like I have there's like a lot of different TCGs that I'll just collect because I think it's really cool and nostalgic. But I don't know if I'll necessarily do single videos on them. I was thinking eventually of doing one big video where I just go through all the different TCGs that I have maybe and open some of them up. It's just hard because it's all about on YouTube where if you do it's sometimes it's tough because you do something a little bit different then a lot of people don't want to watch it and then it gets a little tough to kind of do exactly what you might want to do. But and then besides that I have these really cool Nintendo TCG or not TCG, I guess they're just regular cards from like the 80s that I collect, and I did a video on that before too. It's just like Power Rangers, all kinds of stuff, like you name it.
Oh well, if you ever want anything signed by anything that you'd like to have signed by like the red or black Power Rangers, me and Yizzy would be more than happy to hook it up.
Oh, dude, I appreciate it. Yeah, because they're at a lot of the Collecticons, right?
Yeah, yeah. Yizzy almost got beat up by the red Power Ranger.
No, Shiv baited
Orlando.
me. Shiv absolutely baited me. I almost got my booty kicked by the Red Ranger. Like,
What
'cause,
happened?
like we were doing the panel and we were interviewing them, right? And then some guy in the audience was like, yeah, the Red Ranger or like the Black Ranger created his own like martial arts called hip hop judo, right? And so if you know anything about the Red Ranger, he's like really raw, like he's just that like very
macho fireman
macho,
EMT
like,
type guy.
get out of
yeah.
my way type mentality. Like if you mess with me, I'm gonna probably beat you up. So he get up there and like Shiv goes like, so Yizzy, like you've been doing jujitsu for the past 3 months. You want to talk to the Red Ranger about like something, and then like. I was like, wait, what? So I started talking, and then all of a sudden, the Red Ranger was like, yeah, we can roll if you want. Like, I'm like, no, I don't want to mess with you. Like you're like 300 pounds.
That's peak content.
I think I have that footage actually. I think I do. I think it was like at the beginning of the
You gotta take
conversation.
the hit.
But yeah, I thought he was gonna be like okay with us because we had lunch with him in Houston.
Yeah.
There's
Along
no
with the
way you
black.
remember that. The worst part is Shiv asked him a question, right, about his like career in like Power Rangers, like how you impact him. He answered it, And then after he answered it, I'm talking about this is like 10 minutes after we've had my initial conversation, like 10, 15 minutes later. And he
just
was
stuck
like,
with him.
yeah, you can come down to my gym if you want. Like just randomly after he just answered a whole thing about like, you know, how impactful being a Red Ranger was. I'm like, golly, this guy will not let it down. I really think I'm gonna get my butt kicked after this. It was terrible.
Meet me in the parking lot.
Yeah, that's literally like he was just looking at me. I'm just like, bro, like you're like
He was
100
giving you the rough
pounds,
road.
you know, black belt. I'm like a white belt. Like, yeah, I'm not.
Yeah, like
that's
this guy's
crazy.
like actually martial arts trained, and so like Yizzy would have got his butt handed to him. But
Yeah.
I don't know why you put it on me. But
Isn't the
he
other
just
one like a UFC fighter too? He's like
The
Oh,
Green
Green
Ranger
Ranger.
caught me.
Yeah.
Yeah, he is.
yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But I
So-
mean, like it was funny. I was like, man, this guy Yizzy's about to get all the smoke on this. But yeah, if you have anything that you want to get signed, I mean, obviously, like you can either send it to Radar or I can get it, and we'd be more than happy to hook it up because we see them all the time.
Mhm.
Yeah. I mean, I got my Megazord and stuff back there.
Oh,
That'd be cool.
that's you
Yeah,
break it,
I'm-
you buy it, Jeff.
No, I just sent in like lots of first edition WotC cards to Island Grown today. So
Oh, nice.
yeah.
And he was
But,
on last week, right?
Yeah, he was on last week. We have Radar next week, and then 2 weeks from that
Cool.
we have Palatine Pokemon TCG.
Oh, right on.
Yeah.
Right
So
on.
staying busy,
I
staying
know.
busy. We're trying to
that's
level up
awesome.
like you. But I guess that wraps everything up. We kind of gone a little bit overboard by like 20 minutes, thanks to
Uh-oh.
Yizzy.
My camera just overheated.
We
See,
can still
now-
hear you.
we gotta-
You're
I'm still here.
yeah. We'll just chill with good old Rev's voice here. But let's go ahead and sign off, Yizzy. Go ahead and tell Rev how we sign off, and Rev, you can
pretty much.
Rev, you could pretty much do
Rev,
it.
You're gonna
but
get
we
a
won't
bill
know.
from Rev.
Wait, my
going
camera might be good.
overtime. You have to pay him a time and a half now. This is gonna cost a lot from our sponsorship
I can
money.
just
you know?
get it to go back on for like 1 minute. I think it's on.
Oh, there we go.
Oh, there it
He's
is.
back.
Okay. So we like to sign off like this. We like to like act like we're sipping the tea. So it's like sips up, and then we do the deuces. Everybody does that, and then we salute out. So let's do it real quick, and we'll get it going. So everybody sips up,
Sips up,
deuces,
Sips up.
deuces,
Deuces.
and we're out.
and we're out. See you guys
See you
on the
guys.
next one. We appreciate you, Rev, for joining, and we will see you guys next week at 9 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Make sure you hit the follow. Make sure you hit the like. Make